Hi, and welcome to February 2023 Patreon rewards video. All right, guys, I've got a lot to share, but not too much of my own personal work. But I do want to talk a little bit about what I was doing all week. So, one of the reasons why I don't have as much personal work is because this month was very brutal as far as deadlines and workload at work. I had been given an assignment that was very, very large, a very large assignment. So it ended up like eating up all my time. Like my lunch hours were like 15 minutes, and then I was just working. I even worked a little bit on the weekend. That's how much work I had. So I didn't really get a lot of chance to do anything personal. And the other thing is that on the side, as I was working, I would also be having my computer generating AI imagery because I was testing stuff out. So I was working, and then the computer was generating images because I was experimenting. So I got way, 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 way too many AI generated images to share. It's so much that I can't share it all. It's just too much. So I'm going to only share some of it. Also, I'm going to share all the images that I created, or not I created. I didn't create anything. The computer generated for the barbarian painting that I photobashed. And and one of the things that I also discovered, and here's a really very, very quick. I was watching a video. I'll link to the video. It's really great. It's one of the best videos I've ever seen about the discussion about AI generated images. And one of the things that they brought up was that if it's a raw AI generated image, so let's say you prompt something and it just gives it to you, and it generates the image, that it's not copyrightable. And at first I thought that that would be wrong. It seems like, wait, like that when you sign up for like Midjourney or whatever it is, they say, oh, well, you own all the things. Well, not sort of, but not really. What ends up happening is that the way that the computer generates an image, there's these things called models. Models are like, say it's a little black box. Just imagine it's a little black box where you feed the images. You train the box with images. So you feed the images, and the box is like a shredder. It just shreds the images and it makes it into noise, and then and it eats it basically. And so then when you ask it to make an image, it takes that noise and it puts something back together that is based on all the images you've fed it. So it's a brand new image based on all the things you fed it. But the images that you fed it are in and of themselves not stored in the box. It's so even if it's copyrighted images, they are destroyed when you feed it into the box, into the model. And so it doesn't actually store an actual copyrighted image. It just eats it. Okay, so that's just kind of this is all an analogy. It's not really what happens. It's just figurative here. And then what happens is that when you prompt the computer to access that model, that box, because the program is one thing, and then the model from which the images were trained is another. So when you ask the computer to access the program to access that model, what you're actually doing when you're doing the prompts, no matter how creative you are with the prompts, the computer doesn't know how to speak English. It doesn't know how to speak your human language. What you're basically doing, as far as it's concerned, is that you're giving it coordinates. So then it goes into the box and it looks in that coordinate, and then it brings back the image that exists in that coordinate, and then it pulls it out and then shows it to you. And that's why it's not a creative act. All you're doing is giving the computer coordinates to find the image that that pre-exists in the box, and then it pulls it out and shows it to you. And then anybody who writes the exact same coordinates can pull out the exact same image. So that's why the seed is important. So when you see the seed given to you, and then you see the prompts given to you, and whatever was written with the sliders where they need to be, then everybody that does all those things are putting in the exact coordinates to tell the computer to go into the model. It has to be in the same model, the same box. And in that box, if they're using the same model with the exact same coordinates and using the same seed, you will get the exact same image, right? So that's because it's a pre-existing image inside the box, inside the model. So is it copyrightable just because you went in and gave it coordinates to pull out? No. I mean, it's not. It's the model has that image in it already. So that's really interesting. I didn't realize that. So the only time that it would be copyrightable is if you did kind of what I did with the barbarian painting, which is piece all the pieces together and create something completely new with it. Then it becomes copyrightable. Also, if you feed it your own work and it changes it, it is also copyrightable because you instigated a brand. It doesn't pre-exist in the model. It doesn't go to that coordinate and find it. You're actually adding an extra element that doesn't exist in the model. You're adding your own image. So if I do a drawing on Sketchbook and then I put it in the and I have it kind of look at it and base an image off of my own art, then that becomes a variable that is completely creative from me, that starts the process that changes that. So then that's copyrightable. So it's a big mess. Like all of this stuff, we're still trying to figure out what the hell all of this stuff means. So in any case, I just wanted to just bring that up. And like I said, I'm going to link to that video. So here's one of the images that you're going to receive. This is completely AI generated. Look how interesting that's really good. Like, you know, but it kind of does look like Jason Momoa. A friend of mine was like, hey, Jason Momoa is yeah. So like, this is all I did was put Barbarian or something, Barbarian Man, and this is from the Wonder app. If you're curious, the thing about the Wonder app is that it doesn't give you the seed. So you can't regenerate this image because you don't get the seed. It's hidden. Okay, so these are the images that you're going to get. These are the images that I used to that I used to photo bash that image that that I ended up having that video for. And so, like, if you could tell, like, these things are just, what the heck is happening, right? They're very distorted and messed up. So so this is one of the things that you're going to receive in the list. And by the way, this is when I refed my own. After I finished doing my Photoshop stuff, my first pass, I fed it back into Wonder, the Wonder app, and then it destroyed the painting. Like it didn't. This is what it gave me. I'm like, that's not what I wanted. I thought it was going to clean it up and make it nicer, and it actually made it worse. So this is what I ended up with. But at least this guy is the guy that I ended up using his body because I like this pose much more. But what the heck is? There's a friggin' sword in his head. Like what? These are the when I zoomed into the Barbarian to try to get a variant of the Barbarian, this is what it gave me. And then in the face, because the face that I originally had was this guy's face over here. Like he was the first guy way back here. This guy, right? And then I just flopped him. Um, so I zoomed into that guy, and then it gave me these faces. And see, these are pretty nice. I like this one. I ended up using this guy, and then I just took it away. And then this is another variant, and here's the face of this guy who, and there's some arms and hands and things like that. Like these are the assets I ended up using to photo bash into my my digital photo bashing final painting esque thing. So this is one of the files that you're going to get. See, there's just a lot. You can generate so many images. It's crazy. This is the second batch of images. I typed in snake or something, or viper or serpent. I forgot what it was that I typed in, but I got these images here, and then I used a lot of these pieces, like the coils and like this guy's head, to make variants and stuff. So I ended up using bits and pieces, and then I fed what I had constructed in Photoshop. Like if you watch the video, you could see that I made a serpent, and then I fed my image into the AI generator to see if it gives me a variant that I liked, and they were all kind of messed up. I ended up using this one, and then I just modified it. So those are the serpent images. You're also going to get that. It's going to be in a compressed folder because it's just so much. Okay, and then so this is an interesting exercise. Let me see if I can very quickly find. No, it's not going to be easy. Okay, so I have I'll give you the image this was based on, but I fed. This is a Stable Diffusion image. So Stable Diffusion is it's a different program. It's more robust. There's way more control over it. But one of the things that I really, 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 really wanted Stable Diffusion to do was color my drawings. I wanted it to color my drawings. So, or maybe ink it, or do like a next step in the drawing process. But what I found was that every single time that I fed it my drawing, it would change my drawing. So these are variants of my own drawing that it would spit out and give me, but it was never my drawing. Like it was like, no, but this is not what I want. I wanted my drawing to look like my drawing, but I wanted you to just ink it, or I just wanted you to color it and render it, because I would even give it. Okay, so I'll talk about it. But this is one variant of the same character, and it just kept on giving me this. And this is. I mean, it's not like that they're bad, but this isn't what I wanted, and this isn't my drawing, and this isn't my character. It's just like a weird variant of my character. This is one. I also fed it a colored version, because I wanted to see if it would render the image, and it did, but it changed the character, right? Like again, it changed the design. It's not my character. It's not the way I would have drawn it, and it's inconsistent. Like, even if it gave me this and I was happy with it, the next time I put the same character and put the exact same parameters, it would change the character and it would look different. So like this, look, like this is all the exact same prompts, the exact same things, just variants of it. Like it's different seeds. It changes the seed, which means that in the box, it's going down the line of many, or randomizing the seed, and adding different things into it, but it's still based on my image. So in combination with the model and my image and my prompts, this is what it came out with. But the X factor is my image. So lots of different variations. When I turned up the randomness, it gave me this. Like it completely changed the image almost completely, and it rendered it, but it's not my drawing. It's not my character. It doesn't look like my character. It gave it a hat. Like it's like, but this isn't I want this level of rendering on my character. I don't want you to change my drawing. I just want you to render my drawing. But it changes my drawing, and I can't for the life of me figure out how to make it finish my own drawing and give it this level of rendering, but not change my drawing. So it was very annoying. But interesting. It's an interesting experiment. And I mean, look how many I did, right? This is all, look at this one. Like, it's like, and oh, and here's my attempt to like mask off my drawing. You can see my actual lines in here. So I'm like, don't change these lines. Just, and it's still like, you could, it's weird. Like this is like, you could see my drawing is in here, but it didn't follow it. It changed. You can see the difference that it changed it. So there's my eye, the lines of my eye and stuff, but it didn't follow it. Here's the nose, but then look, it went over here. So it's stuff like that. Like, I'm like, man, come on. And then there's this, a different model, and yet a different model. This is from the line drawing. I took the color. I fed it a line drawing, and then I fed it a one with color, and then I fed it one where it was just really basic color. It was just shadow shapes. And the one that just had shadow shapes gave me this. It didn't know what the hell to do with it. Like it was like, what is this? What are you giving me to do? What am I supposed to do with it? And it just did this. So it was really, and again, it's interesting and it's pretty, but it's not my character. So I can make the interesting thing about this is that you could feed it a drawing, no matter how crude, and then it would make it into something else. Here's this is my drawing, or rather not my drawing, but this is the first pass, the photo bash first pass that I fed into the computer after I had already done the photo bashing and put all the pieces together and collaged it together into an image. This is what I fed into the Wonder app, and then the Wonder app just completely changed it completely. So I think if I was using Stable Diffusion, it would have given me a more accurate variant, but because I was using the Wonder app, it changed it completely and it destroyed the image. So this is what I fed it, and then I ended up going, well, it's not giving me what I want, so I'm going to have to finish it myself. And so I finished it myself. So here's the second pass after I went in and fed it even more. I did the variants, like you saw all the different types of serpents, all the different types of people, so I took whatever extras and I put it all together, and I made it into this, right? So this is the final photo bashed painting. I changed the guy, I changed the serpent, I changed the stones, the background's different. There's a lot more finesse and finish, and I gave this guy the serpent some atmospheric perspective and like all that stuff. Like, so I changed it and I did my own thing with it, and and again, photo bashing just is fine. It's fine. It's a really good way to create an image as fast as you possibly can with the least amount of work, but it's still a lot of work, and you get a nice result. But ultimately, none of this is necessarily my drawing, and because it's not my drawing and it's not the choices that I would have made myself from scratch, like I would have designed the barbarian a little bit different, I would have given it different proportions, I probably would have made the serpent a little bit different, like lots of things like that, because it's not it doesn't come out of you from scratch. You're kind of collaging a ton of different assets together. It doesn't feel as satisfying. Like a drawing from scratch that you start yourself without collaging anything together feels much better It feels much more interesting. It's more satisfying than photo bashing. But photo bashing is something that is used by concept artists and to just generate as many images as possible. In a lot of ways, kind of like an AI image generator, so that but it's much more controlled. Like an AI image generator, you have zero control over. Like it just gives you what it gives you, and then you're stuck with it. But with photo bashing, you have much more control, and you can put it all together so that you could get the image you actually want, rather than some random roll of the dice. Okay, so this is you can't even see it, but I fed it a PNG, which is why it's transparent. But this is the line drawing that I fed it. I fed the computer, and this is what it looks like with color. But this is just the plain line drawing. Because it's transparent, it's got a transparent background. You can see right through it. It's like a cell. So you can't. That's why it's weird. You can't see it like that. But this is the drawing I fed the program. This is the drawing that I wanted it to just even at this level of color. Can you just render it a little bit more? Can you just add more? And then it changed it completely. It was not even my drawing anymore. And then I'm like, dang it, man! Like I just want, like if I give you this much, can you go further? Nope. No, I can't. I'll change your drawing completely and make it something else, but not your drawing. It's really annoying. Here's the other version I fed it. This is the one that gave me those weird results with the blue and then the lady with the two arms and stuff. I fed it this it was just the line drawing with a shadow, and I'm like, can you add color to this and then change? And nope. So I don't know what to do about that. I don't know. It's really irritating. Oh, hey, look at me. I actually drew something. So this is this month's postcard. Okay. This month's postcard goes to Anastasia. Anastasia, you won this month's postcard. So I was trying a little something different. I'm going to be posting a process video of this. But yeah, I didn't do the cartoony cell shaded kind of marker drawing look that I've been doing the last couple of days. I may go back to a combination of both of these, but the process was a little bit different. I went in with the idea being that I kind of wanted to put a wash of colors and just have the watercolor just mesh colors and gradients, and then from that I went in and put in the darks and the lights. Basically, I'm using watercolor as watercolor could be used, right? I definitely want to. That's something I wanted to talk about. I'm definitely going to want to start doing a little bit more acrylic painting, and I'm going to probably start doing that in my sketchbook. Hopefully next month, I may do something, and it's one of the things that I did get this in December. Was this bottle of acrylic flow medium. So I bought this, and so what is this? This is goop. This is medium for acrylic. This is what acrylic is made out of, right? So what this does is it allows me to dilute the paint like watercolors, right? Right now I've been diluting the paint with water, which is fine, but the problem when you dilute the acrylic with water is that the saturation of the color, you lose the vibrancy. You lose the saturation. So like say you have a red and then you dilute it, that red, although it becomes lighter, it also isn't as bright. So if you dilute it with actual medium, you still keep the color, but it becomes translucent rather than opaque. While if you use water, you lose it becomes translucent, but you also lose some of the vibrancy of the color. So I'm going to try using that, and I'm going to experiment, because one of the things that I found that was interesting with acrylic is that when you do dilute it, when you do it it's like watercolor, and I'm very comfortable with watercolor at this point. So, but it also is way more opaque than watercolor. That sort of, because I have to say that because if you take watercolor right out of the tube, um, it's really opaque. Like you could put that sucker down like friggin' acrylic, right? Um, I just never do that because it's kind of expensive. So I'd rather just use acrylic. Um, and then experiment with acrylic. I mean, I want to expand my knowledge of traditional media, especially with all the digital stuff and all these image generators. Digital artists are really in trouble because um, it's much easier just to generate an image digitally that looks like something that a digital painter could do, but it's impossible for a computer to actually do a physical painting um, that isn't like a print, like like a printer. Like it doesn't matter; it's still a printer, right? Okay. This is actually a page from my sketchbook. I actually did a little bit of sketching. So here's, this is new. This was last month. This is new, and these little doodles here are new. I'm just trying to play around with head shapes here. Um, they're not pretty. They're just experiments, and that's the whole point of sketchbook, is just to draw bad and ugly and just see if something works and is not working, and make the mistakes. This is all about making the mistakes. So I have that little sketchbook that I carry in my jacket pocket whenever, so I don't always carry around my big sketchbook, but I always have a little pocket sketchbook in my pocket. So these are doodles. I will show you what happens when I feed the Wonder app my own drawings, like this guy. And I experimented with this one drawing, and then I fed it into the Wonder app on my phone, and then it did crazy things with this. And some of the stuff, man, was cool. I liked it, and I'm like, man, I got to steal that from the computer. I fed it this too. This is my pal John Narcome. I will put his info in the description of this video, but we were at a coffee shop, and we were talking shop, we were talking drawing, and we were talking about art and all kinds of stuff. And then he said, "Hey, can I sketch in your book?" And I'm like, "Yeah." So this is him drawing my stuff, I guess. He's doing my version of his version of my thing. So it's fun. Like it's cool. I like it. And this is his character, but I drew it, and it's not quite right because, you know, this is me just doodling. I like these though. These are I like the way they turned out. I like these shapes. This not so much. This is somebody that was sitting near me at a place that we went to. It was a comedy club. So I was sketching some of the people at the comedy club. So these two people here are inspired by the people that I saw at the comedy club. This guy too. This was just a doodle. This was just a doodle, and this was just a doodle. But I was just playing with shapes and lines and things like that. Is that it? That is it. So yeah, like that's the rewards for this month. Hopefully you got some new information out of this. I'm learning a lot of new things. It's very interesting. One thing that I wanted to say in closing, because of the whole AI generated imagery and the existential crisis that a lot of artists are having about it. It's interesting because, and I was talking to a colleague of mine, and we were talking about the AI generators, And one of the things that I wanted uh, to say about it, and to kind of let the worry subside a little bit, and just a little bit, is that I made the analogy that an AI generator is to an artist what Tony Stark's Iron Man suit is to Tony Stark. And AI generators are to non-artists what War Machine's Rhodey's suit is to Rhodey. Like War Machine is, Rhodey's suit. So Rhodey is not Tony Stark, right? Rhodey uses an armored suit like Iron Man's, but he could only add to the Iron Man suit. But he the War Machine suit, he could only add more weapons or whatever it is, but he can't make an Iron Man suit. He's a slave to the suit. The suit, and he can't go beyond the suit, right? Like the suit is just enhancing Rhodey. Tony Stark is not reliant on the Iron Man suit. He can make an Iron Man suit. He could use an Iron Man suit. He could be enhanced by an Iron Man suit. But if he doesn't have an Iron Man suit, he's still Tony Stark. His superpower is himself, right? Like his ability to think, his intelligence, his superpower is the fact that he can make Iron Man suits and more, right? So an artist is that. Like, so now there's a storyline in Marvel Comics in Iron Man called the I forgot, like the Iron Wars or something, the Armor Wars, where everybody has an Iron Man suit, that kind of thing. Like there's just like armies and armies of Iron Man suits. When everybody has an Iron Man suit, what makes Tony Stark special? Tony Stark, the fact that he's the one that came up with it. So that he can go beyond the suit, and that's what artists can do. They can go beyond the suit. Everybody else is a slave to the machine, but an artist can use the machine, but they can enhance it and go beyond it. And that's the difference between someone who can draw and someone who's just using an image generator who cannot. The people who are image generators cannot, and just use AI to make images, cannot go beyond the images. They're slave to whatever the machine gives them. And people who can draw don't need it and can use it to enhance whatever they do, but they're not necessarily relying on it, and they can go beyond it. So just thought I'd put that out there so that you can something to think about, and something to give you the understanding of the empowerment that you have when you have the skill, as opposed to just having it handed to you as if it from a computer. All right, so thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to you next time. All right, bye. So I'm happy to announce that I now have a new drawing lesson called Drafu Guide to Sketching and Gesture Foundations. It's the beginning of the level 2 information that people have been asking me for the drawing website, which will teach you where to start drawing, what to draw when you draw, how to draw from observation, how to draw from imagination, how to draw what you envision, and how to discover what you ought to envision if you don't have anything specific in mind. So if you find any of this interesting, you could follow the link that you see, or you can go to thedrawingwebsite.com, look under level 2, and you'll find the link there.